last couple of years have seen tremendous transformation in the Indian automotive industry, primarily led by the SUV body style. So much so that the segment has seen over 40% growth in the last few years, with the compact SUV segment commanding more than half of that market share. When Maruti Suzuki India unveiled the Grand Vitara in August this year, it promised to give customers a new breed of SUVs. The Grand Vitara SUV will be manufactured by Toyota Kirloskar Motor at its Bidadi plant in Karnataka, bringing to the fore the collaboration that Suzuki and Toyota had got into. We are in the beautiful city of Udaipur in Rajasthan driving this Grand Vitara, and in this video we are going to get you details of the vehicle, tell you about the technology that's gone behind it, and also give you a perspective of how Maruti is approaching the SUV market in India. The Grand Vitara is in many ways one of the most important products to have come out of the Maruti Suzuki India stable in recent times. Not only is the Grand Vitara the company's reinforcement of sorts in the SUV segment, it is also in many ways the first product to see the real coming together of product design, technology and engineering emerging out of the alliance between Suzuki and Toyota Motor Corporation globally. While the Grand Vitara is Maruti Suzuki India's biggest bet around the hybrid technology yet, it also brings back to its portfolio off-roading capabilities several years after the famed Gypsy. It isn't lost on anyone that Maruti Suzuki India's participation in the fast-moving SUV segment hasn't been as aggressive as many other manufacturers in the industry. Of the two volume drivers in the SUV segment, the compact SUV and the mid SUV segments, Maruti has had a winner in the compact SUV segment with the Brezza, formerly the Vitara Brezza, since it was launched in 2016. In the popular mid SUV segment, unfortunately, Maruti hasn't had a product to play with. With the Grand Vitara though, the market leader aims to bridge that gap and to also participate in that volume game.
Maruti Suzuki has to participate in that volume. And as we see that in future too, we want to, if we want to be having the market share of 50%. We want to achieve that. We have a very strong presence in the hatch segment, and where we are, we have more than 60% of the volume. And in the MPV segment also we are there. The SUV segment is where the growth is there and the volume potential is there, and that's where we would definitely look at participating more and bring in models which can meet that requirement of that customer going forward. And so we will make our efforts towards that.
Yeah, so the SUV segment has actually became the largest segment last year. So last year it was about 40.3% of the total market. The previous year it was 32%, and the year previous was just 26%. In fact, if you look at the last 5 years, the segment has grown from about 16% of the total market to 40.2%. That means a volume of almost last year of almost 12.3 lakhs, and that I think is a substantial number.
Right.
And of course, within that we have the entry SUV, which is the 4-meter SUV or below, and you have the mid SUV and the premium SUV. The mid SUV is about 18% of the market, and the entry SUV about 22% of the market.
Interestingly, the entry SUV segment has grown faster than the mid SUV segment in recent years. In fact, around 2015, the mid SUV segment was larger than the entry SUV segment. Currently, the mid SUV segment is about 18% of the market, which roughly translates into 540,000 units if one goes by last year's numbers.
The mid SUV segment is where Maruti Suzuki is quite weak, in the sense we do not have a product which is met, but with the introduction of the Grand Vitara, and Grand Vitara has seen some good traction. We have seen bookings so far of about 28,000 numbers, which is pretty good, I would say. And hybrid, the strong hybrid out of that is about 48-50%. Okay. So that's also a pretty good beginning. But of course, we start sale sometime in September, and when we do that, once we do that, we'll get to know how and with the price announcement, how exactly the model performs. But I would expect this segment overall to grow because of the overall growth in the design preference for SUVs for the Indian consumer. And also within this segment, Maruti Suzuki should grow because now we have a product which is actually more competitive and in many respects much better than what we see the products are from the competition.
Srivastava believes the growth of the mid SUV segment going forward will depend on how the overall market shapes up, be it the growth of the economy, stability of fuel prices, or changes in the demographics of the country. Nonetheless, Maruti Suzuki estimates the SUV market to grow from the current levels of 40-41% to around 49 to 50%, as was seen in most other markets like Latin America, Europe, or the US, where the SUV segment has plateaued at around 50% mark. The growth in the segment is already visible, with the segment growing to about 42% this year. Obviously, the growth here on won't be as dramatic as it has been in the past, but Maruti Suzuki India is very confident of the opportunity in this segment, and the Grand Vitara is expected to deliver on the promise. In the short term, the launch of the Grand Vitara is expected to push the segment higher from 18% to about 22 to 23%, said Srivastava, basing his estimation on the data that the company has currently possessed.
So I think it's a good segment to watch for, and I do believe that this SUV segment has become so large that you would have a space for further development of sub segments. Today we are just talking of entry SUV, mid SUV, premium SUV, but we have seen in the past whenever a segment grows big in volume, you see emergence of sub segments as well.
Conceptualized, designed, and developed by Suzuki Motor Corporation in Japan, the Grand Vitara will be produced at Toyota Kirloskar Motor in Bidadi, Karnataka. In addition to sales in India, the model is also planned to be exported to markets outside India, including Africa and South America. Suzuki has developed the all-new Grand Vitara as a global flagship SUV. On its part, Maruti Suzuki India has played a critical role in ensuring localization and meeting the local requirements.
Yeah, definitely. I think in the case of the Grand Vitara, as I said, that it was designed by Suzuki. All the engineering drawing was done by Suzuki, but the development, the localization of the parts, then during the proto build, making sure that whatever is the protos which are built, whether it's production proto or mass production prototypes, the evaluation of those, all of that was happening at our Rohtak, R&D center, and also on-road testing, working with the Suzuki engineers, working alongside Maruti engineers, doing suspension tuning and understanding the customer requirement from a performance point of view, testing it on the Indian road conditions. I think these are some of the things which the Indian engineers participated, because they understand the customer well and they are able to articulate that well to the Suzuki engineers, and then together as a team we are able to make a good proposition for the customer.
The result of that collaboration, as well as the global business partnership between Suzuki and Toyota, has come to the fore with the Grand Vitara. Raman-san explained.
And there is from India perspective, I think there is a sharing of products like the Baleno being sold as the Glanza. Earlier we had the Brezza being sold as the urban cruiser, and now the other way around, that the product which is being manufactured at TKM is going to be sold to Maruti Suzuki and sold by us. So that's the kind of work and the sharing, and we are sharing. And the Grand Vitara is built on Suzuki's Tech Global C platform. Powertrain of K15C is Suzuki technology. So it's sharing of platform, sharing of powertrains, and collaborating in that way. And so it's, I think today it's all about how you can work together, and it's a competition is what we call it, competition as well as cooperation together. Both things you have to be able to do. So you compete in the market with Toyota, but we also collaborate in a way so that and so that's a competition which is also we've done in the past too, and this is a model which is going to evolve future definitely, I believe. Having said that, I think there are synergies which both the companies are able to draw and create relevant proposition for the customer.
During our drive in and around Udaipur, we not only experienced the different variants of the vehicle, but we're also offered an opportunity to test the off-roading capabilities of the SUV on a specially designed track. And I must say, I came back very impressed. Suzuki's All-Grip Select 4-wheel drive technology electronically controls the 4-wheel drive system with selectable driving modes that can be used through a simple push and turn dial. The All Grip Select lets you choose from 4 driving modes, which are Auto, Sport, Snow, and Lock. In the Auto mode, the vehicle prioritizes fuel economy and switches between two-wheel drive and four-wheel drive depending on the road surface and driving conditions. Whereas in the Sport mode, the system regulates traction control and throttle input, which optimizes the dynamics for sporty driving, such as on winding roads. In the Snow mode, stability is maximized to make driving through snow, unpaved, or other slippery surfaces easier. And in the Lock mode, the rear wheels are allocated power preemptively and torque is distributed to all the 4 wheels equally to maximize traction when driving on tough surfaces. I asked Raman-san if he was satisfied with how the product has come about, and he said he was very happy with a sense of deep contentment. Talking about the product itself, the Grand Vitara features two powertrain options: the 1.5-liter intelligent electric hybrid that comes with an eCVT transmission and the 1.5-liter smart hybrid, which is a mild hybrid system that Maruti has in many of its products. The smart hybrid option comes fitted with options of either a 5-speed manual or 6-speed automatic transmission.
The hybrid technology itself. The THS technology, the Toyota hybrid system technology, is a well-known technology which has matured over the past 22 years, since it was launched in the late 90s. And today, whatever we have is the latest generation of the hybrid system. It is a 1.5-liter engine, which has a two-motor system, which has a transaxle. And the beauty of this is that, and it has a motor, it has a battery system, which is it's of course not a very big size battery, but it's a power cell basically, and it has a capacity to quickly absorb energy and discharge energy. So that's the battery. So what is this hybrid technology? So what it does is that it is whatever is the energy which is there, which is being produced in the system, how it is able to efficiently utilize it. Pretty much most of the way in which it's expended, whatever is given to the power to the wheel, rest of the energy, which is either brake regeneration or other heat, is basically dissipated. This hybrid technology absorbs all of this technology, absorbs all of this energy, and then charges the battery. So it has charge, and so therefore the system is such that the transaxle system, which is the planetary gear system with the motor technology, is so efficient that it and the intelligence is in the switching between the ICE powertrain and the motor, and the motor can run independently, and the ICE engine can run independently, and so it's a parallel split kind of a system, and it gives a huge fuel efficiency improvement. It's 29.97 kilometers is the mid SUV segment class leading, I would say the best in class fuel efficiency which we have declared, which is almost 35% better than our K15C progressive smart hybrid technology, which is a huge number actually. So from any customer perspective, it creates a value. Apart from that, I think the other thing is that it can run on pure electric, as I said, and so as it seamlessly switches, it can within a city or in certain conditions, it can run 30-40% on electric mode. The only thing one can come to know is on the instrument cluster that whether it is in electric mode or in ICE.
For Maruti Suzuki India, this is a gradual progression it is making towards full electrification, a plan it has already announced for 2025. Maruti's progressive smart hybrid technology as a mild hybrid technology has given the company a good start. With the Grand Vitara, it has launched the strong hybrid technology, and over the next 3 years, it would move on to introduce electric vehicles in the country. This is a natural transition that has happened world over. Maruti is currently in the process of building that ecosystem, which includes building customers and the supplier ecosystem, get economies of scale, do localization, reduce cost, and also democratize the technology in the process. Let's now take a look at some of the highlights of the Grand Vitara beyond the powertrain and the hybrid technology offerings. The design of the Grand Vitara is based on Nexa's crafted futurism design language. The chrome grille along with the 3-point LED DRLs with integrated turn lamps give the front an impressive look. The side profile of the Grand Vitara is well designed and is pleasing to the eyes. The highlight, however, is the rear with the integrated tail lamps promising to be an absolute eye-catcher on the roads. Apart from the design, the Grand Vitara is packed with comfort and convenience features. The inbuilt next-gen Suzuki Connect, for example, allows the driver to remotely connect to the car. Then there is head-up display, 360 view camera, wireless charger, and the new SmartPlay Pro Plus infotainment system. Moreover, Maruti has offered on the Grand Vitara a panoramic sunroof, ventilated seats, and a full digital instrument cluster with 17.78 centimeter multi-information display. The material quality and the fit and finish on the Grand Vitara interiors is impressive. Space in the driver compartment as well as the passenger compartment in the front is generous, and that for the rear passengers is decent as well. We, however, felt the shoulder room for 3 occupants in the rear seat might be a squeeze considering the rather upright position of the seats. Ride and handling is impressive too. We drove the vehicle in the city roads of Udaipur as well as on the highway towards Mount Abu and came back very impressed with the way the vehicle behaved on all conditions. All put together, we drove over 100 kilometers that day on the strong hybrid variant, and by the time we returned to the hotel, the fuel meter had barely dropped a bar, highlighting the impressive fuel efficiency of the SUV, acclaimed 29.97 kilometers per liter. The Grand Vitara is Maruti's biggest bet yet in the SUV segment, and the 2 days we spent with the vehicle gives us the impression that it truly is deserving of a very high success rate in the market.